Arthur lived in a world made of brass and friction. His shop was a subterranean forest of ticking. It was the only place in the city where time didn't feel like a weapon. For 50 years he had been the person people brought their broken memories to. But the city above was changing. It was becoming smooth, glass, silent. Sarah arrived on a Tuesday. She didn't have a clock to fix. She had a notice, an eminent domain order. The block was being cleared for a server farm. She told him the world was moving toward the cloud. Mechanical parts were too heavy for the new era. Arthur didn't argue. He knew that you cannot stop a tide with a handful of springs. His son Marcus came to help him pack. Marcus saw the shop as a collection of debt and clutter. Marcus told him that moving to a smaller place would be a relief. No more oil, no more noise. Arthur watched his history being bagged and labeled. He felt the silence of the room beginning to weigh him down. Then, at the bottom of a heavy oak drawer, he found it. His wife's watch. She had been gone for a decade. The watch had stopped the moment she did. He realized he hadn't touched it since the funeral. He had been too afraid of the stillness inside it. Marcus reached for it, but Arthur pulled his hand away. He wasn't ready to let the silence win yet. The next night, while the city slept, Arthur did something he hadn't done in years. He opened the watch. Not to fix it, but to understand the damage. The heart of it was a mess. A decade of neglect had turned the oil into sludge. He began the process. It was slow. It was invisible. It didn't pay any bills. He cleaned every tooth of every gear with a single-haired brush. Sarah returned to check the progress. She saw him hunched over the silver watch. She asked him why he was bothering. The building was coming down in 48 hours. Arthur told her that some things deserved to be in working order when they faced the end. She sat on a box and watched him work for 20 minutes. The city's frantic pace felt very far away. Marcus called 3 times. Arthur didn't answer. He was busy with a rhythm that his son couldn't hear. It was 3 in the morning when he finally put the balance wheel in place. He gave it a single wind, and then the room wasn't silent anymore. The sound was frantic and brave. It was the sound of a memory waking up. The day of the move was gray and quiet. The movers took the last of the workbenches. He felt the ghost of the thousands of clocks that had ticked in this room. Marcus was in the car, tapping the steering wheel. He wanted to get this over with. Arthur reached into his pocket. The watch was still ticking, steady, unafraid. The new apartment was silent. There were no gears. There were no shadows. Marcus told him he would get used to the quiet. He told him he could finally relax, but Arthur didn't want to relax. He wanted to be part of the mechanism. Every morning he wound the watch. It was his only appointment. He realized that progress doesn't erase the past. It just moves it to a smaller, quieter place. He watched from the street when the old building finally fell. He didn't look away. Sarah saw him in the crowd. She didn't say anything, but she checked her own watch. The watch didn't make him rich. It didn't change the city's plan, but it gave him a rhythm. It gave him a heartbeat that was his own. Marcus came to visit and stopped asking if Arthur was bored. He saw the way Arthur held himself. Stability isn't about the building you live in. It's about the gears you keep turning inside yourself. He was an old man in a new world, but his time was accurate to the second. The world will always try to make things faster. It is our job to keep things real. The time passes whether the hands move or not.